Hello, you sexy people of the RWBY fandom! Oh my god, what the fuck? That's the stupidest intro I've ever done so far. I don't know. Anyways, how's it going, you guys? This is the Dark and Rose here, and holy fuck, it's the morning, but I'm awake as all shit. I woke up like at 5 something a.m. in the morning, and I'm feeling amazing. I mean, if you guys think I'm on cocaine or something, that's alright, because, you know, like, people think that at times. I don't know why. It's probably because I talk too fast, and I probably look like I'm on drugs or something, but don't worry, I'm not. I don't know. Anyways, man, what am I blabbering about? Okay, so here we are with another fucking round of narration of Beacon of Hope. Man, the swearing's real. And, holy shit. It's been a while since I've done a narration. Well, I've done a actual narration. Like, there's some that I have yet to upload. Like, right now, like, as I'm making this, I haven't uploaded the, chapters 28 to 33 yet. So, yeah, I hope you guys actually enjoyed. Hope you guys will enjoy the, long session I had on that one. It was fucking 2 hours long. No, it broke 2 hours. It was like 2 hours and 9 minutes, most likely, I think. I don't know. But where we left off, well, Weiss is in a bit of a pickle. Well, RWBY and Weiss, actually. Because, well, Weiss has burned dust crystals, I believe. And, oh, yeah, someone wants to fucking Skype me right now. Anyways, that shit happened, and now pretty much RWBY has a bit of a threat on her head. Well, it's pretty much like, I'm not gonna say it's like blackmail or anything, but it is a threat, actually. RWBY says anything about what's going on? Probably Weiss will lose an arm. I believe it's her left arm. I don't know. I can't remember the tiny details. All right. Give me a break here. I haven't narrated in at least like 2 weeks. So here it is. Here's chapter 34, guys. Sorry about taking forever on that. That'll most likely be edited out or something. Here is chapter 34. Melting ice. Oh my god, yeah, this is too epic. This isn't Weiss's POV, by the way. My name is Cinder. Now hold still. This may hurt just a bit. The soft yet sternly spoken woman whispers to me. I watch eagerly at what form of treatment she will use and become amazed when her amber eyes glow, causing the tube she opened at her side to glow and a thin mist of dust to float out. Wait, you can manipulate dust? Manipulate? I mean, Jesus Christ. I ask in a slightly raised tone. Amazed since I've never seen a semblance specifically for something that was formulated by human hands. It's not so simple. My semblance is a little more complicated, but yes, I am able to manipulate dust as part of it, she whispers. Man, I'm having a hard time saying manipulate. Digits of her left hand moving in several swift, complicated gestures, and the mist of dust soon changes into many thin needles, no thicker than a strand of hair. Anyway, now this is the time I will ask you to lay down on your stomach with the left side of your body towards me, she explains. I raise an eyebrow, not feeling so comfortable with laying on someone else's bed, but most medical procedures do need a person to lay down to avoid any extra movements. So I suppose there is no harm done, since she is doing a medical practice. Very well, I answer, using my right hand to push myself off the mattress. I turn around to climb back on the bed, the right side of my body towards the wall, and my left side towards her. As I lower myself onto my stomach, she reaches out with her right hand to grasp my unresponsive arm and lay it perpendicular to my body to show its full wingspan. Good. You will start to feel a numbing pain. Like when you sleep on your arm and all you feel are thousands of pin needles. I look at my arm, my eyes wanting to see most of it has taken to a black and blue bruise coloring. Just how hard did Yang punch me? Why is my entire arm like that? I ask, worried about just how serious this treatment may be and if I should go see an actual doctor. Nothing serious. She just punched you hard enough to pop several blood vessels and a rather large chain effect. That stopped the blood flow in your arm, and the thin layer of blood that is causing the black and blues are also screwing around with your nerves, which is why you can't move the arm. I'm going to do 2 things. Drain the blood that is formed between your skin layers, and then provide a seal wherever the bleeding is still present, and if it is still present. I listen carefully as she explains, nodding my head, She seems to know what she is doing. Yeah, I could tell there's been some research in this chapter. Okay. Proceed, I whisper, wincing to myself as I once again sound more like a stuck-up heiress rather than a single person. It's not purposefully done, and I hope she won't take offense to my odd choice of wording, which it doesn't appear she has. My eyes widen when I see the several hair-thin needles line up along my arm, gently pressing along the entire paralyzed limb, then all at the same time, they pierce my flesh. I don't feel it at first, but I watch as she lets out a soft exhale, the dust-formed needles glowing. I feel a warmth in my arm, then a heavy shiver through my spine when all the needles press in a millimeter deeper. When all the needles press in a millimeter deeper. Sorry, it sounded like though I said it differently in a weird way. Sorry about that. At the same time, I could see my flesh softening around the needles, and then she withdraws all of them, leaving several barely noticeable holes in my arm. That is until my blood begins to seep out of those holes, coating my flesh in a crimson red. I can feel a slight movement in my thumb, at least for a few seconds, and the dark bruises that are spread across my arm begin to disappear slowly. While my arm bleeds out, she sits down next to me, pressing her right hand onto my shoulder. Her palm is very warm, hotter than Ying's touch even. That's a lot of blood, I whisper, looking at my arm that began to develop crimson streaks from the trickling liquid. Yes, but you're not going to go through anemia. Like I said, this was already out of your system and just pressing against your skin. You know how black and blues form, don't you? She asks with a hint of annoyance in her voice. I do. I turn my head away from her, looking at the wall. I just don't like blood, okay? My reasoning earns a slight laugh from her, something I really couldn't picture someone with her attitude doing much of. She lifts her right hand from my shoulder, changing to putting her left on my shoulder and her right firmly on my back. Looks like the bleeding is done. Take a look. I turn my head, unable to make out my full arm since it has several red stripes covering portions of it. It isn't a lot of blood, but it is so scattered about what it looks like a much larger quantity than it is, when in reality, it is probably equivalent to what a doctor draws out for blood work. I can't tell if the bruises are still there. I whisper to her. She lets go of my left shoulder, reaching behind her to grab something. And when she brings her arm back, I see that she is holding her black pillowcase in her hand, and I quickly move my right arm in protest. Don't dirty that for me. My brief protest is completely ignored when she carefully drapes the pillowcase over my arm, leaving it there for a few seconds. She then lifts it up, most of the crimson liquid gone, aside from a few transparent streaks of dried blood. A smile crosses my lips as I look at my arm. There is no longer any bruising beneath my flesh, and I can feel the pin needle embrace going from my shoulder, slowly down my limb as the blood begins to circulate regularly. Good, that part was to help you out. Now we just need to do one more thing. I look at her from the corner of my eyes, seeing a minor altering in her gaze. She places her arm on my shoulder once more and climbs onto the bed with me. She kneels with her knees on either side of my body, letting her weight rest on my lower back. Why must you be on top of me? I ask, feeling slightly awkward enough on the bed of someone I just met, but now having that person on my back. To keep you from moving, she says with a harsh bluntness to her voice. I part my lips to question her, but at the same time I feel an excruciating pain in my left arm. I look over to see the several needles making their way back into my arm, in the same manner as earlier, but this time I can feel each and every prick of my flesh. I let out a loud whine, burying my face into the bed as my body shakes and attempts to fight away the immense feeling. I can feel them all sliding in deeper than earlier, my hand beginning to spin as I cry out and kick from what I thought would be a relatively painless treatment. But right now, my arm is being impaled. I can feel Cinder leaning over me, her breast touching my back while the needles continue to slide into my arm. I don't see any blood this time, but I can feel a building heat coming from them, followed by a mild hint of scorched flesh. It's okay. Scream for me, Meliodas. Let me hear you sing for me. My eyes widen at her words. I look at her from the corner of my eye, those amber eyes glowing furiously and suddenly gaining a blinding flash to them. I let out a high-pitched scream of agony at that very moment, the needles in my arms sending a massive wave of heat through my body, along with a concentrated heat in my recently unnumbed arm. I always thought I knew what pain was, but then I see every needle disappear into my arm, and they must all be pierced into my muscles, because I can't even tense up my arm at this point, which I was able to do a few seconds ago. I can feel a tear rolling down the corner of my left eye, and the tears from my right eye begin to drench the bed sheet below me. You have the cutest little face when you cry. You know that? She whispers to me with a smirk across her lips. I don't get much of a chance to respond, the concentrated pain eventually making me go unconscious. I wince, snapping partially out of my sleep. I can't feel my arm again, but when I try to move it, I can feel a weight shift in the bed, meaning that it is at least responsive. I guess whatever she did to me worked. I open an eye, looking up to see the underside of Cinder's head. Apparently my head is on her lap, and she is singing to herself. I close my eyes, focusing on picking up the melodic whispers of her voice as she sings. What? I read not sing this. This sounds horrible. You know, I wish I knew how to, sing this, because, there's no audio sort of hint for me to know the, the tone and the melody and stuff like that. I'll just go with it. I'm not going to sing it, I think, most likely, but I'll just try. Hush, little Reaper. Don't say a word. As she sings, I listen, feeling my heart rate pick up as the singing goes on. Cinder's gonna give you what you deserve. A way to see and hate the minds of the cruelness of people and mankind. But if you cry and hate me more, I'll fed the one you love to a nevermore. Then I'll see you break and go insane, to realize the true meaning of pain. As you rage, I'll sneak up to you unheard. So hush, little Reaper. What is your last word? Who is this Reaper? The words she's saying should make me fear her more, especially after the torture she put me through earlier, but I don't feel anything. Pain, fear, panic. All I fear is a form of tranquility from her voice. I feel her hand gently rest over my forehead and eyelids, and a soft heat starts radiating from them, making me feel tired and drift away from consciousness slowly. I know you are awake. Just rest. I'm sure your girlfriend will be here soon, she whispers to me, moving her hand away and letting me fall asleep at my own pace after putting me at the very brink of going unconscious. Just before I completely go unconscious, I hear a knock at the door. Enter, Cinder whispers, probably thinking I'm already asleep. I hear the door open, but I'm far too tired to open my eyes and see who it is. Instead, I fall asleep again, but just before I do, I can hear one last thing exit Cinder's lips. You're late. Again. Oh shit. Man, ugh. Weiss? Weiss! Weiss! Wake up! Wake up, damn it! Weiss! I hear the childish familiar screams of RWBY echo in my head. Ugh, let me sleep, I groan. You're okay! She screams again, and the chance of resting I had hoped for is destroyed when she climbs on top of me and hugs me, her arms going around my neck and nearly choking me to death while I try to pry her off. Can't breathe! Don't! I cough out, and she quickly lets go, instead laying her head on my chest. I finally open my eyes. Man, sometimes the freaking typos or grammar mistakes just throw me off, man. I've been saying that a lot, though. Gazing about the room and realize this is not the room I'm used to. Where's Cinder? I ask, gazing about as I prop myself up on my elbows. Wait, both elbows? I look down my left arm, smiling to see it had completely healed and without any scarring. It looks exactly like it did prior to Yank's barbaric and bipolar attack. And I suppose the extra pain was worth it since I look like I never had an injury to begin with. I need to at least pay her for her work. Something this professionally done shouldn't be done as charity. Although she did scare the life out of me twice. I mean, that woman with the long black hair? RWBY asked, at first very sour with the words, but soon changing back to a more cheerful tone. Yes, RWBY. She fixed my arm brand new, and I haven't given her a proper thank you. I smile, watching as Ruby gently grasps my left hand, and for some reason begins to cry while she holds it, going as far as to place my palm to her cheek and look into my eyes. She did a perfect job, Weiss. I'm sure you'll bump into her when the time is proper. But for now, let's go back to the dorm, okay? I nodded my head, setting myself up and reached to the side of my head to fix my twin tails a little. I pause a moment as I run my finger through one of them. Then with my other hand, I check the other. I can't feel a single tingle in either of them. I can't believe it. She even went as far as to brush my hair while I was out cold. No pun intended. Ruby sees the look of shock on my face and begins giggling. What's wrong? Forget you still had your twin tails? She giggles. But I quickly shake my head. No, Ruby. There's not a single tangle. She actually took time to brush my hair, I whisper, and Ruby immediately shoots a look of disapproval. I could have done that for you. My girlfriend pouts, drawing the biggest smile to my lips. Ruby Rambunctious Rose. Are you jealous? I giggle, Ruby turning her head away and sliding off of the bed. I'll be waiting in the hallway. Get your shoes on so we can head back. Ruby has a stern look as she walks out the door. I suppose I hit a nerve, something I didn't think Ruby had. I slide myself off of the bed, reaching into the hip pocket in my outfit, just above where my combat skirt begins to spread out to pull out my scroll. As I turn on, it says I have a message from a Cinder F. I take a moment to read the message and smile slightly. Should you have any questions of the side effects of the treatment, come to my room. You remember the way there, right? My door is only open to you, nobody else, and there are no exceptions. Do not reply to this. I shrug my shoulders and look around to find my shoes sitting near the doorway. I say doorway. I walk over and slide them on, then open the door to see Ruby leaning against the wall across from the doorway and smiling at me. Shall we go, princess? She asks, extending her hand out to me. I reach out with my right hand, but she quickly shakes her head and moves to my left side. Ruby, what is your obsession with my left arm today? I understand your sister punched it, but I am perfectly fine now, I assure you. I know, Weiss. I just came to realize that I love your left. She gives me a warm smile, but I raise an eyebrow at her comment. That was really weird, even for Ruby. But I decided to let it go for now. Alright. Nope. All left. I shake my head, smiling at her wordplay that is just as bad as her sister's. Adults, let's just get back before your gang awful jokes put me in a coma. Aw, that's cold. Weiss cold. She pouts, flashing me a grin. Flashing me a grin she makes. God damn it. As she makes yet another awful pun. God damn it. Ruby, stop it. But when Yang is not around and puns are needed, Ruby rose to the occasion. Hey, that's me. She giggles, forcing me to facepalm myself. Her jokes are so bad, and yet they are coming in bunches. I wish Blake was here to help me survive this onslaught. Ruby, if you make another joke, then I will go back to wearing a French braid the moment I step into the dorm. I look at her, seeing her go wide-eyed, and in that same instant she goes silent, allowing me to let out a sigh of relief. Finally, I'm getting a break, but now the walk home will be very long since I will have a silent Ruby. She will make sure she doesn't make yet another pun, but takes a step further and makes herself completely silent to avoid making one completely. Such an overachiever. Speaking of bad puns, I need to apologize to Yang when I get back. I suppose I was a bit out of like with slapping her. She will not make it easy on me. I just know it. I let out a loud sigh, sliding my arm around Ruby as we leave the eastern dormitory, and make our way back to our dorm room. God damn it! Not once does she utter a word, but she keeps herself pressed tightly to my form, and she has never let go of my arm even for a split second. Ruby is my adorable, clingy girlfriend, but something must be bugging her if she is this attacked. I'll try to find out what it is, but that will be for another time. For now, I will just mentally prepare myself for my discussion with Yang. Alright, that was a chapter. Holy shit, that was like 22 minutes long. God damn, there's so many fucking typos and grammar errors. Fucking throwing me off, man. Jesus. Sorry, I just had to complain. Lol. Alright, here is chapter 35. A falling blizzard. Man, I feel like this is all Yang's fault because she did punch her in the arm, and I mean, if she didn't have the injury, I mean, she wouldn't have talked with Cinder and stuff like that. And she probably wouldn't have an excuse for her to go to the dorm with her to help her. Man, that was such the worst idea. You don't trust strangers, man. Okay, here's... God damn it. Alright, here, let's start the chapter. This is in Ruby's POV, by the way. Weiss, you can't be serious. That is hardly an apology. As a matter of fact, that is far from it, I scream as we walk down the hallway to the dorm room. It is an apology, Ruby. Yang will understand it. If anything, she's the only person that will understand. Weiss sighs, keeping her eyes straight ahead with a look of seriousness written all over. Fuck, I'm yelling. With a look of seriousness written all over her face. Weiss, she is going to kill you, and you know that. What do you have to do to prove to her? What do you have to prove to her? Oh my god damn it. I have everything to prove to her, Ruby. If I can't handle this, what makes you think that she will ever trust me in the future? I whimper, hearing the anger in Weiss's voice. Watching as she takes out her scroll and opens the door. I close my eyes, knowing I'll only need my ears for what it is to transpire. Yang Xiaolong, we are going to... I blink, hearing Weiss pause, but still keeping my eyes closed, hoping that things do not get worse. Oh, hey, Weiss! Goddamn fucking pop filter. I hear my sister respond in a nervous tone. Yang, of all the juvenile things you could do, take off Blake's bra this instant. I just want to see how much larger I am than my kitty. You imbecilic barbarian. Yang, you and I are going to have a match, and it will be right down your alley. It will be a knockout stipulation match. I will be in the arena. It will be vacant until 11. It is currently 8:45. I expect you to be there and not hold back. I listen as Weiss walks through her closet, and when I hear her footsteps approach the doorway, I see her exiting with an aster on her hip. Weiss, I whisper as she starts walking by me, my head dropping as she appears to pass right by me with that focused look on her face. It is only after I break my line of sight from her that I feel a hand reach out to lift my head up. Weiss is standing right in front of me with a smile on her face. Ruby, I need to do this. Your sister is a person to communicate with her fists. I will get through to her with her own language. Weiss leans in, kissing me right between the eyes before entering a brisk walking pace down the hallway to make her way towards the sparring arena. It's not her I need to worry about getting my words across to, I hear Weiss whisper while she walks down the hallway. I go into the room, seeing my sister topless, at least for the moment since she is just getting on her black sports bra. Yang, don't hurt her, I whimper as I walk up to my sister, who is quickly getting dressed with an excited grin on her face. Are you kidding, Ruby? The last thing Weiss wants me to do is hold back. She wants to fight until one of us either gives up or drops. This isn't something I will hold back on. I can feel the heat radiating from my sister. God damn it. She is excited. Far more excited than I've ever seen her. Even to the point that she is shaking slightly from adrenaline. She had that look in her eyes, Rubes. She had my look in her eye. Whatever she went through to get her arm fixed, it must have smacked something around in that high-class head of hers, because that isn't the look of the Weiss I know. Yang looks over her shoulder at me, her grin turning into a smirk. That's the look of the Weiss that the guts to smack. That's the look of the Weiss that the guts to me smacked this morning. I don't know. Just the guts to smack me this morning. I don't know. And that's the Weiss I want to see more of. But why, gang? You can kill her in a knockout fight. That's your wheelhouse. Those are the same rules in the pit, and you're undefeated in the pit. Don't do this, Yang. Please. I can feel tears swelling in my eyes. I recall the day I took Yang's left hook and was out for a few days. That day I could have. No, I would have lost Weiss to my sister's overprotective nature. Rubes, Weiss challenged me. Think I'll ever back down? And as for why I want to see more of this Weiss, it's simple. That's the Weiss I want to be around when it comes to protect my baby sis. When it comes time to protect my baby sis. God damn it, I'm so bad today. I came to a resolve today that I will support the two of you no matter what. But it seems Weiss doesn't want it to be that way. She wants to prove to me without a doubt that she is capable of protecting you. Yang's smirk turns into. God damn it! I'll be right back. We interrupt this program to bring you my very first Rage Fest on a narration. You guys are gonna hella enjoy this. Oh my fucking god! Oh my god, nobody's high today. Jesus Christ, man! How bad can you be today? Ugh! Oh my god. Alright, I'm back, everybody. Sorry, guys. Seriously. I'll just leave that in. I don't really care. Okay. I'll just change the sentence so that it makes sense for me. Yank's smirk turns into a serious scowl. This is more than just a match, Ruby. Weiss and I are having this fight over the right to protect you. My eyes widen, I begin thinking back on Weiss's words. I have everything to prove to her. Since Weiss and I left the Eastern dormitories, she has been acting different, claiming she needs to become stronger if she wants to protect me. What did Cinder do to her in there that made Weiss feel so powerless? That was her so on edge that she feels the need to fight my sister right after getting her arm fixed? Weiss isn't under any form of manipulation. I know how Weiss is, and even though she is acting slightly out of character, this is still the determined Weiss I know. The Weiss that refuses to give up because of that overly stubborn nature of hers. But she does not need to fight my sister to protect me. You're too stubborn. Cliche. I'm just kidding. I don't know. By the way, I might say a lot of things such as cliches and stuff like that in this story. Never warned you guys about that back then. Yang, why do you two need a fight? You just said that you support the two of us fully. My voice is much calmer now. I realize that I cannot stop them from trying to destroy each other, but at the very least I can try to understand what it is that makes them both so set in their ways. Especially Weiss, who knows she has no chance of beating Yang. From the very first argument, Weiss knew that her only advantage over Yang was within a debating situation, and in any physical battle, it was a simulated loss each time. RWBY. Yang whispers as she takes Ember Celica from her drawer and places them on her forearms in a lightweight bracer form. There comes a time when a person realizes they can't just sit back and let others come to their aid, even at the smallest signs of danger. It makes him feel weak. But by going over there, I made Weiss feel weak? And being weak is a feeling nobody enjoys. I'm sure Weiss is happy you went there to help her out, but I bet when you arrived she was perfectly fine. No, Yang, it's just because you didn't go with her, you probably would have seen what the fuck happened. Probably resting up, and in a panic you wake her up from her dream. I'm sure she was elated to see you, but after that moment registers, there is no other way to look at it, except that you don't think she is capable of handling herself. And if you don't think she can handle herself, then sure as hell I don't think she can handle herself, or even protect you if she can't protect herself. That's Weiss's mindset right now, RWBY. Well, I mean, god damn it. Yang, how did you know that she was fine when I got there? I looked at my sister, completely dumbfounded as she interpreted the whole situation without even getting a single word on it. RWBY, when it comes to being challenged to a fight, and reading the look in someone's eyes when they challenge me, I am the best there is. Actually, no, you're not, Yang. Yang places on a... Yang puts on a black tank top and takes off her short shorts to replace them with gray jogging jeans. The jogging pants... That look Weiss gave me wasn't of hate or anything. It was the same look she gave me earlier today, and that look was screaming to me, I am more than capable of taking care of RWBY. And if that's how she wants to sell this, then so be it. Yang walks over to Blake's mini fridge, taking out a can of her favorite energy drink. Copyright infringement, I'm not gonna say it. I'm just kidding, I think I said it earlier. Yeah, I did. Monster Energy. She keeps it in her hand as she starts to walk out the door, and I quickly follow behind. She's gonna be in a sugar rush before she even gets there. Oh wait, she's not RWBY. And I quickly follow behind. Yang is more determined than ever, and although I love it when she is determined for a fight, this is the one fight I wish she wasn't so ready for. You forgot a period after 4. As Yang turns the corner, I pause, realizing that this entire time I have been worried for Weiss. Not for a single moment when Weiss said she wants to challenge Yang that I show Weiss that I believe she could win. My only responses were for her not to fight Yang, and for her demoralizing my girlfriend by saying she will get destroyed. RWBY, you can't just assume you've been demoralizing her. Weiss wasn't planning on fighting Yang initially. Weiss wanted to see just how much I believe in her combat abilities, and I made the mistakes of being far too worried. Weiss is about to fight Yang to prove that she can protect herself and protect me, but she's not trying to prove it to Yang. Weiss is trying to prove it to me. RWBY, you goofed. Well, like you darn goofed. You've really done it this time. Weiss is going to get destroyed, and no, it's because you think she's going to get destroyed. This is going on. I shouldn't be asking Yang to hold back. I should be encouraging Weiss to go into overdrive. Well, I mean, you have to be worried anyways because of what Cinder said about her arm, and speaking of which, she hasn't even said anything about that. I quickly rushed around the corner that Yang went from earlier. I sprint. Well, I mean, she can't say anything when we think about it. I sprint down the steps to get out of the. I quickly rushed around the corner that Yang went from earlier. I sprint down the steps to get out of the dormitory and use my semblance the moment I step outside to go into the combat training building. As I enter, I look up at a sign that points towards where the tunnel entrance to the sparring arena is. Rushing my way into the arena, I am happy to see they are not starting yet. As a matter of fact, they are seconds from starting. Yang already has Ember Celica in their gauntlet form, and Weiss has Myrna Aster drawn and is already in their fencing stance. Wait! I scream as I run in from the entrance tunnel. The two turn their heads to the side to look at me as I disappear in a flurry of rose petals and appear right between them. Panting from the heavy sprint I had to enter to get here just in time. RWBY, I am not going to back down, so please, don't try to stop me from facing your sister. Weiss whispers. I hear Myrna Aster being holstered while I try to catch my breath. My hands on my knees, and my white tips blocking my sight of the two of them. I wasn't going to say that. I pant between words. After a few heavy breaths, I stand upright. Looking from Yang to Weiss, two of the most important people in my life. What about Blake? Is she, like, not important or something? Oh, my head. Sorry, guys. Then what is there to say, RWBY? Weiss asked me, a faint trace of annoyance in her tone. Yang, I'm sorry, I whispered to my sister as I walk over to Weiss and claim her lips in a gentle kiss. I place my hands on her shoulders, holding her close to me as our lips lock. I refrain from sending my tongue into her lips. I don't want her mind fogged up before a match. Kick her ass, Weiss. Oh man, for RWBY being 15, I don't know. After today, you and I will start training harder than ever. I won't let you get stronger without me. About time you figured it out, RWBY. Sheesh. Do you know how hard it is to spin that tall tale that she has something to prove to me? Sheesh. She proved herself to me this morning. Yang groans out at how slow I was on the uptake. Well, you're about to have a much harder time, Yang, I tease, giving Weiss one more kiss. Weiss has a large blush on her lips as I pull away the second time, and turns her head after I catch her softened stare. I didn't ask for your support, dolt. She pouts at me. I love it when she calls me adult. Sundere, I hear a voice call out, and when I look towards one of the front row seats, I see Blake sitting there gesturing me over. Say that again and I will get a Doberman, you delinquent! Weiss shouts at Blake while I dash over and hop up the high wall, barely grasping the edge and climbing over with minor assistance from Blake. Blake, how did you know we were here? I ask while leaning against the wall to get as close a look I can to the oncoming battle. I was in the bathroom. Honestly, Yang wasn't trying on my bra. We were experimenting a bit and, well, ew. I was topless, my bra was in the closet, and since I am faster, I ran into the bathroom, she put on my bra to play it off. And she put on my bra to play it off. I didn't need to know that! I groaned. I moved your sex-scented clothing last night. You'll need to listen to every detail I say. Whenever I want to say it, little red. Blake smirks at me, and I slam my head against the top of the wall in defeat. Receiving a minor concussion. I'm just kidding. Here I come, Weiss! I hear Yang scream. My eyes dart to the two of them. Knowing Weiss, she will keep her distance since Yang is way deadlier at close range. Weiss is getting in close, Blake whispers to me. What? No way! Weiss is not a... I pause a moment. Weiss is doing this to prove a point to me. Going in close and being Yang in Yang's comfort zone is the biggest statement Weiss can make. Blake is right. Weiss will be going in close. I watch as my sister takes off for Weiss, and Weiss forms a glyph below her that accelerates her straight forward towards Yang like an ice skater. I watch in awe as she swirls around Yang, appearing and disappearing with lightning quick speed. But that ends the moment Yang supercharges her semblance. Yang is at her best when she is determined, and when she is at her best, she is capable of exerting a very concentrated amount of aura with her semblance that it acts as a powerful repelling force. That is exactly what happens now, and Weiss goes back flipping through the air, using her glyphs to adjust her rotation and land gracefully on her feet, but with my sister already several feet from striking distance. Their exchange begins with Weiss blocking my sister's first punch. She hurt each punch being tapped away by Murder Master, but Weiss needing to backtrack to keep just enough distance to be able to keep blocking and smacking away the sword. Deep in the back of my mind, I feel Weiss will lose, but I don't let those thoughts come to surface. I believe in my girlfriend, no matter who she faces. I believe that she will do what it takes to win. My heart sinks when I see Yang smack Murder out of Weiss's hand, leaving Weiss standing in complete shock from being disarmed. You forfeit, Weiss? I hear Yang's voice echo against the high ceiling of the arena. Not a chance, Yang. You'll need to knock me out, Weiss scowls. I am surprised to see Yang immediately wind up her right hand for her most powerful punch, and Weiss appears to be surprised too, because all she does is raise her hands and close her eyes to brace herself for the hit. Shit, I hear Blake whisper, but my eyes are locked on to see what is about to happen. Move, Weiss! Duck it! Do something! I cry out in my head. All my worries beginning to surface within what are the ending seconds of the fight. I watch as Yang's arm glows a bright orange while she delivers the punch. But the moment it gets close to passing Weiss's left hand, a large blue glyph forms. The glyph Weiss forms using Murder to propel herself. Instead, Yang's punch bounces off the randomly appearing glyph and sends my sister flying several yards back. What just happened? How did Weiss do that without Murder? Weiss looks down at her left hand in shock, then back at Yang. I think all four of us are completely amazed at what just happened, and Weiss deciding it may be best to test this new phenomenon out further. Extends her left hand and begins to focus her aura. Not a chance, Weiss. Whatever the hell that was, you're not using it again. Yang screams while firing Ember Celica at Weiss in the rapid barrage of buckshots. I watch as Weiss stands there calmly, moving her hand to block off each shell, making a bounce off a small glyph that is centimeters from her palm. The shells ricocheting off of the glyph and flying several yards before exploding after hitting the ground. It's at this moment that I see a sight that scares me beyond anything. Weiss's eyes are glowing a crystal blue, and the stance she is taking while blocking each shot is exactly how that woman, Cinder, was blocking my shots from Crescent Rose. Yo. So, yeah. Yeah, after that rage fest, I don't know if I should keep going. Well, I mean, it's 2 chapters. I'm gonna do one more. Jesus Christ. And it seems that there's a Persona reference at the very beginning right now. What the fuck? Anyways. This is chapter 36, everybody. Powerless. This is in Weiss's POV? Yeah, that raise of question was actually intentional. Who are you? I am you, and you are me. That does not answer my question. I am a manifestation of your sorrow and determination. But why do I only see you now? I am you, and you are me. I stand dumbfounded as I stare at my left hand. The hand that just effortlessly pushed Yang away, and more impressively deflected her strongest punch without me even breaking a sweat. I take a deep breath, gazing around for Murder briefly, but it is blade first into the ground currently behind where Yang is standing. How could I be careless enough to get disarmed? That doesn't matter now. I will win this match. I must win this match. I can help you, Weiss. Just let me take over it, and all will be well. I don't need you, I whispered to myself, literally to myself. But some weird force makes me lift my left arm and forms one of my largest glyphs to date, before compressing down into the palm of my hand. Well, everybody, Yang is dead! End of chapter! I blink, but when I open my eyes, I'm no longer in the arena, and Yang is no longer in front of me. I am now in a space of infinite darkness, yet I can see clearly for miles. I don't know how that happens. I begin walking forward, but I walk into something. I hold my hands out to what feels like a magical wall, and soon it becomes visible. It's one of my glyphs. I quickly turn left and enter a short jog to go around the glyph, but another stops me, perpendicular to the first. I continue to try to get around them, but 2 more glyphs appear from my attempts, trapping me in a box for my own semblance. I am not your enemy, I hear a voice whisper. I've never taken time to hear many recordings of myself, but that voice is mine. I'm certain of it. I look around me, and standing there inside the box with me is an exact copy of me. But there's something different about her. She has her hair down instead of in the twin-tailed fashion I have my hair in. Her eyes are glowing, with streaks of aura leading out the outer corner of her eyes. The 2 aura streaks then trace down her cheeks, mimicking tear streaks. Then what are you? And why are you crying? Why am I here? Where did you come from? I ask in a flurry of questions, and all she does is wave her hand between us, making a small table and 2 chairs appear, with 2 filled teacups sitting in front of each other. So, sorry guys, I don't mean to stop a lot, but I mean seriously, this is really confusing me. I mean, this is my first time reading the story, so I react a lot. So you're telling me that they were having a talk while she's kicking Yang's ass? Dude, that's like fucking badass. I am a manifestation of your sorrow and determination. During my creation, you were crying, you were sad, and you were determined to get your arm fixed, which is why my displayed body is like this. You are here because I wish to prove that I am not your enemy. As for where I came from, she sighs, exactly how I would, and takes a seat in her chair, beckoning me to take a seat as well. Yes, where did you come from? What is with my left arm? Why am... I start asking more questions, but she raises her hand very gracefully to stop me. The more questions you ask, the longer we will be here. I came from the deepest depths of your mind, she answers prior to taking a sip of her tea. Well, I've always had my mind, so again, where did you come from? I ask in a slightly angrier voice, and decide that taking a sip of some tea would be the best thing to relax myself. Then you mean to ask how I got here? And I would gladly answer based on the knowledge of the person who helped me manifest. Wait, so you were created by... No, I was always here. The very weak voice within your mind that tells you it will be alright, or encourages you to go through with the near impossible. Your sorrow and your determination. Cinder's healing of your arm has a side effect. She uses her own aura to assist the healing. Wherever object that she used her aura on is still in your... our arm. I listen to what is going on, and upon hearing her words... My words? I look down at my left arm, recalling Cinder mentioned for me to go to her should I have questions of the side effects. I suppose this is one of them, or possibly the only one. I gasp as I feel the ground shaking. Or the floor to an abyss? There is nothing below me, only darkness. But here I am. This is all so weird to me. I just wish to go back. What was that shaking? I ask, hoping that the invisible floor doesn't disappear on me. Does that make sense? Ying is firing Ember Celica at us. I am taking care of it, she whispers. Wait, you're controlling my body? I set my hand on the table, making my teacup rattle on the surface. For the moment, yes. It's either that, and we may talk, or you can be blown to smithereens by explosive buckshots. And we could talk while you're in a coma. Now, may I continue to explain how I am here? I nod my head, gesturing her to continue while I take another sip of my tea and feel another rattling on the ground. Yang, of all the good for nothing times, can you stop trying to blow me up for 1 second? Jesus, like a war zone probably. I'm trying to make sound effects, sorry. As I was saying, because there is more aura in your body than your body is actually adept to, I am now here as a storage for that aura. I am in no way here to take over your body. I am simply here to assist when you undergo stress, or experience a drive to complete an objective, because you are my sorrow and my determination. I complete her sentence before taking another sip. She looks at me with a smile on her face and nods her head. That is correct. According to the knowledge I have of this treatment, which must be from Cinder's thoughts at the time it was manifested, at the end of the full healing process, your body will either accept the excess aura or reject it, meaning I will either go back to the faint voice in the back of your head, or I will stay as I am now, and make an appearance should you need me. I'm not sure I will want to have an extra voice in my head, I say, all raising an eyebrow. Last thing I need is to hear voices in my head. I'll end up in a psychiatric center before noon. It is not like that, Weiss. I will only appear when you are exceptionally determined, or undergoing deep sadness. Must I say again what I am? I shake my head and gesture for her to continue. You want to win this fight? We want to win this fight, and we will. The look in her eye is so focused on me. She truly is my determination manifested. She stands up and walks towards me, extending her hand for me to stand up. So you are here to assist me? I ask, grasping her hand just before another tremor makes the table and ground shake. She turns me around, a mirror appearing in front of us. I see us both standing side by side. A closer look at her reflection, and I can see that her right eye is no longer glowing, but now my right eye is. I reach up to my eye while still looking in the mirror, watching as the displayed aura sways around my fingers. I look back towards her reflection, and the tear streak of her aura is gone. Instead, the aura only exists around her eye and extends partially past the outer corner, and mine does the same. I blink, and now her hair is in the exact same twin tails as me. I turn my head to look at her, and she smiles at me without any form of awkwardness or negative emotion in her gaze. I will help you reach the goals you desire the most. Do we still remember how to wield Murder Master in our right hand? She asks, making me raise my eyebrow. Of course. Do you think this is so confusing. Yes, I trained in using both hands with Murder Master. I know that, but are you still capable of doing so? It has been exactly 1 year, 3 months, and 18 days since you last held it in your right hand during a battle. Wait, how did you... I have always been in your mind, Weiss. I am you, and you are me. I blink again and she is gone. I look in front of me and the mirror is gone as well. I gaze around me, no longer seeing the floor glyphs that have kept me encaged in this area, and the table is gone as well. Shall we? I hear a voice whisper in my right ear, and when I turn, it is her. Me. Whatever! I nod my hand, reaching out to grasp her hand, and the moment our fingers connect, a blinding flash disorients me. And when I open my eyes, I can see Yang standing there with a massive pile of used shotgun shells at either side of her. Oh, massive pile, sorry. I gaze around the room, seeing small holes scattered everywhere as if the area was just under mortar fire. I told you I would take care of your body while we spoke. She is out of ammo. You won't lose. That leads me to one more question. How am I able to use a glyph out of my hand? As soon as you use dust to mend your arm, and it is still present. Our semblance came unified with dust, is that not correct? And I suppose we will only know how many different types she used, through trial and error. I smile, holding my hand up and taking a deep breath. I do my best to picture my light blue glyph, the one I use to propel myself. The one I have, or rather my manifestation, has been using to block Yang's attacks, but that is only one of its uses. Sorry, Yang, but I can't lose to you. I shout, my arm glowing along certain portions, which I take to believing that is where the dust is placed within my arm. I swipe my left hand horizontally. During every few inches of travel, a small shot of my aura exits the glyph and spirals unpredictably through the air as it takes an indirect route towards Yang. After my complete motion, there are a total of 8 beams traveling through the air. I begin to calmly walk forward, as each one begins to focus the trajectory on Yang. The exhausted blonde looks at me, and instead of making an attempt to dodge the attack, she stands there. A focused stare in her eyes as all 8 of my attacks land head on with an echoing impact as 2 smash into the ground, creating a small cloud of debris around her. Why didn't she dodge it? I don't want to win like this. Her semblance. Her eyes widen at the realization that Yang is possibly on her last leg. which is normally a good thing when facing someone, but that is Yang at her deadliest potential. Sorry, Weiss, but it's game over, I hear a voice from within the debris, and within the next second the debris is dispersed by a sharp gust of wind. Where the debris was initially gathered, I see Yang standing, and in her right hand is Marinaster. My eyes go wide when she throws my weapons out of the sparring arena towards where Ruby and Blake are sitting and begins to crack her knuckles. She is sporting that arrogant smirk of hers and crashes her knuckles to get her to activate her semblance. I was expecting there to be a surge of heat, but it is far more intense than that. It's more like the fucking sun right in front of you. Jesus Christ. Surrounding Yang, the floor begins to sizzle and smoke from the pure concentration of her aura. Oh man, I might be right. A punch from her now will... fuck! A punch from her now will surely kill me. Why is there an eye instead of an ah? What the frick? Alright, anyways, I don't care. At least if I did not have this newfound power, and Yang is under the same thought process. One punch is all I need, Weiss. Power I've got, Yang shouts and begins running straight for me, leaving scorch marks in the floor on each of her steps. I fire off several beams of aura, but then hiss and evaporate once they get... But then they hiss and evaporate once they got close to her. I need a block. I need to block this. Very well. It shall be done. I look down at my left hand, my entire arm starting to glow immensely. I look down at the ground around me, starting to freeze and gain a snowy surface. And when I exhale, I see my breath in a thick puff of smoke that takes forever to disappear. I grab my left wrist with my right hand, holding my palm out towards Yang as my glyph forms. As my glyph appears, there is an even wider smirk on Yang's face when she jumps in the air and winds up her right hand. All the aura surrounding her body suddenly becoming a blinding light and embracing her right fist. She doesn't want to just knock me out. She wants to go to the defense that blocked her punch so effortlessly earlier. I can't lose. You won't lose. I need to win. You will win. No matter what. Is that your resolve? It is. Very well. As Yang's punch connects with my glyph, I'll watch as the glyph expands to cover my body from the massive heat radiating from the punch. I can feel her hand trying to burn through, and the screeching in the air from her punch slowly tearing through my guard begins to worry me. A swirl of hot and cold air surrounds us, creating a small hurricane that hides us within the debris. My hands begin to shake, and I feel myself being pushed back by the sheer power of her punch. I can't lose. My arm flashes an icy blue. Ice forming below me that freezes my hands into the ground. I'm not doing this for myself anymore. I can feel the force of the impact from Yang's punch begin to fade, but the pure power in that strike is still present. I hear the sound of a cracking mirror, and when I look at my glyph, I see a slight sever in the center that begins to spread and grow bigger, almost like a spiderweb. Not yet. Not yet. Sorry, Weiss. Nothing is unbreakable when I'm around. Yang says with complete confidence as she pulls her fist back and immediately throws another punch, but this time with her full body weight into it. I feel tears begin to swell in my eyes. I don't want to lose. I want Ruby to look at me and know that I can protect her. God damn it, you don't need to do that. I want to be strong for her and for myself. I want the power to protect my doll from anyone and anything. Yet here I am, tears running down my cheeks with Yang about to shower my arm into another dimension. No wonder Ruby is so protective of me. I saved her one time in the Emerald Forest, and since then she has watched over me as a friend and as a leader, taking punches from me that no other person could ever hope to survive, and even smiles at me afterwards and say that she is glad I am okay. The same girl that dragged me out of prom, thinking I was weak when it came to alcohol, and couldn't trust me to socialize without believing I would be taken advantage of. I don't want to be that powerless girl. I want to be able to be the one to finally take a punch for Ruby, and not just one punch, as many as it takes to keep her safe. Ruby Rose is now the most important gem in my life, and I am too useless to prove that. Sorrow, anger, determination. You have the power at your disposal, Weiss. Use it. She's about to destroy me. Ruby was right. Are you giving up before the battle is decided? Since when do I ever do that? Good. Now fight. I nod my head, focusing on my arm, and I smile as my blue glyph turns red instead. Yang's eye winds at the change, but she still goes through with her punch. As it connects this time, Yang and I look at each other. Her smirk turns into a smile, and she gives a brief nod of her head before pushing the rest of her aura into her fist, blinding me with her full power. At the same time, I close my hand from an open palm into a tight fist. The red glove turning black and detonating itself with the aura it absorbed from Yang's first full power punch. At first, it's a detonation that makes an earth-shattering explosion. It covers Yang in black debris, but the full force behind it destroys my own glove, sending me flying back milliseconds afterwards. As I fly back, I can see the small hurricane of blue and yellow we formed during our exchange. I peek to my left. Blake is hopping over the wall and running towards the other side of the hurricane. Most likely where Yang is. Yeah, fuck. Ruby hops onto the wall herself and disappears in a flurry of rose petals. I peek over my shoulder to the quickly oncoming wall. I wish it was quicker. Everything is moving so slow right now. Before I make contact, I feel a sharp force in my left hip, strong enough to force me to change directions and now go flying to my right. I look down, all I see are rose petals and a tight grasp forming around my waist. Eventually I come to stop. When I let go, I collapse to my knees. My aura is drained and my body's undergoing a huge strain. Is this another side effect? Weiss, don't you ever do something that dangerous again! I hear Ruby screaming at me. I look down on my knees and see another pair in front of mine. I lift my head to see Ruby, or rather 3 rubies looking at me with a smile that overlaps on all of them. She begins to say something else, but I can't understand it or read the lips of any of the 3 rubies. I am dizzy and my peripheral vision is fading to blackness. Eventually, I feel my entire body slump. My eyes close shortly after. Ruby saved me again. Well, that sucks. Anyways, oh, well, I don't know. By the way, I think I may have imagined what I said earlier about what Cinder did to Weiss. I don't know. I think I was right. Wait a minute. I think I am right. Don't know. Anyways, that's gonna be it. I'm sorry for my massive complaining and for pretty much just like being interrupted a shit ton of times. I'm sorry. I'm not alone in the house right now. Anyways, man, most likely that shit might be edited out. Like, I'll try to get some of them because I mean, like, going through every single narration is a pain in the ass. I'm not joking, you guys. That's why it takes a while because I mean, I had to seriously look through it thoroughly. Anyways, you know, I literally looked at like so what if I told you that I made like I really want you guys to vote on that poll I made, that straw poll I made on shit. Oh my god, I forgot. I'm sorry, you guys. On chapters 25 to 27. And I mean, I'm serious, guys. I really want you guys to do that because I mean, I'm fucking terrified. So there's only 2 fucking people that voted for it. I don't know, man. I don't think I'm just gonna do another story. I guess that's good for right now. That's for the best. But I mean, seriously, I guess that tells me I shouldn't be doing any polls or anything of the sort. I mean, I want you guys to be more involved with what the hell I do for this channel. But I mean, come on. If no one participates, then what the hell do I do? Anyways, I am finished with this narration, and I will see you guys next time. By the way, I have some news coming up in possibly at the end of the summer. Just letting you guys know. Anyways, stay classy, and I hope I see you guys later. And I hope I don't take forever to upload this.